Good morning. This is my favorite subject, geometry. Today we are starting with lesson 3.1 about parallel lines and transversal. So what are parallel lines? Parallel lines are two straight lines. Imagine that they are straight, that never touch each other. No matter how you enlarge them, I can keep this to the infinite and they will never touch each other. They will always remain to the same distance. If I had a different type of line, like this line, I know that if I extend this line, eventually they will cross, right? And so these are no parallel. So parallel lines are they never touch each other. And a transversal is just a line that cuts through them. It's a straight line that cuts through parallel lines. When two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal, several things happen with the angles. Remember that the angles is the opening that two lines make, and they have a vertex. Vertex is the point of origin of the two lines. And what are the things that happen to the angles? Well, first thing we can talk about is that the corresponding angles are the same. What are the corresponding angles? Let's say this is angle 1. This angle over here is the same as angle 1 because this is a line and these two are parallel, so these are the same, and it has to have the same opening because they're cut through the same parallel lines. Let me name the angles. Angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So corresponding angles are the same. Corresponding angles are congruent. What are the corresponding angles here? Angle 1 is corresponding to 5. It's equal angle 5. Angle 3, which is under here, needs to be the same as here. Angle 3 is equal as angle 7. Angle 2 on this side is the same as angle 6. And angle 4 is the same as angle 8. Another thing that happens when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal is that the alternate interior angles are congruent, are the same. So what are the interior angles? Interior angles are the angles that form inside all the lines. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are interiors. 1, 2, 7, and 8 are exteriors. See, they touches the outside, but those that are inside is only this. So the alternate interior, and the alternate means opposite. So 3, you alternate, and 6 are alternated and are interior. Angle 3 is the same as angle 6, and angle 4 is alternate interior angles to angle 5, and therefore they are the same. 4 and 5 have the same measure, 3 and 6 have the same measure. The alternate exterior angles are also congruent, are also the same. So remember, the exteriors are the ones outside. So angle number 1 is the alternate exterior with 8, and 2 is the alternate exterior with 7. So therefore they should be the same. Angle 1 is equal as angle 8, and angle 2 is equal as angle 7. The third thing that can happen, and this doesn't have to be parallel lines, but just one regular line, when cut by another line, you form vertical angles. Vertical means that they share the same vertex, but they are opposite. This angle is vertical or opposite to this other, and therefore they are the same. And this angle is vertical to this angle, and therefore they two are the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. So vertical angles are congruent, meaning they are the same. Angle 1 is the same as angle 3, and angle 4 is the same as angle 2. Another thing that you will need for this lesson is to remember some terms like, let's see, like a right angle. A right angle is an angle that measures 90 degrees. This is right. If you have an angle that has less than 90 degrees, then you have an acute angle. And if you have an angle that measures more than 90 degrees, bigger than 90, then you have a obtuse angle. The vertex, remember, is the point that the vertex where the two rays get together to form an angle. And I think that is it. So now, if you are given two parallel lines and they are cut by a transversal, and you are giving one angle, they tell you this is 130 degrees, and they tell you to figure out the rest of the angles. Well, it's easy, just with the rules that we mentioned here. I know that this is a straight line, therefore these two angles must measure 180. If 180, I take away this 130 that I have over here, then I will have 50. It means that this angle is only 50 degrees. And they tell you, explain why? Because they are supplementary. Oh, that's another term. This is another review of vocabulary. Supplementary is two angles that measure 180 degrees, and complementary is two angles that measure 90 degrees. So I know that this will be 50 degrees because they are supplementary angles. I can say that this and this will be 50 because they are vertical angles. They share the same vertex and they are opposite. I can say that this is 132 because they are vertical opposite. I can say that this is 130 because these are corresponding angles. This is the same as this. Or I can say that this is the exterior alternate to here. See? And therefore it's 130. And this other exterior needs to be the alternate exterior, so this is 50. And 50 and 130 because they are supplementary. And over here I can say because they are alternate interior angles, this and this needs to be 50. So with given one angle, you can find out the rest of the angles. In question for you, the last one, is it possible when you have a line, two lines that intersect each other, is it possible that all angles to be obtuse, to be bigger than 90 degrees? Let's say, okay, this does look like more than 90, so this will be an obtuse angle. This other, which is the vertical, this will be an obtuse angle. How about this? Does this look more than 90? Not to me. So this is an acute angle. And this is an acute angle too. So no, it's not possible to have all angles obtuse in this case. I hope you enjoyed the lesson today. Have a good day, guys.